Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's lecture. I'm Lady Trinette Wilson, your social historian, and of course, your teacher. I wanted to talk about business today and two iconic businesses and how each approached their dwindling sales. We're going to begin with Red Lobster. Who likes Red Lobster? Hit that like if you like Red Lobster. I love Red Lobster, in particular, their tea and those biscuits. So that was one of the companies. The other, Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel also is one of my favorites. I love their good old home cooking. So if you just like good home cooking, Cracker Barrel fits the bill. Now put a like down below if you like Cracker Barrel. Well, both companies were experiencing a little problem. You see, Red Lobsters were starting to close across the country. They had hit a wall, and the wall said they was going broke. Less foot traffic, the labor costs were rising, and Cracker Barrel was experiencing the same thing. People love their good old home cooking, but they were experiencing closed stores. So I wanted to talk about the two approaches that they used to bring them back themselves back, and one of them didn't really wasn't successful at all. So let's start with Red Lobster. The first thing they did was brought in a young CEO. His name is Demola Adamoweekend. He is a Harvard graduate. He's Nigerian, and he went in immediately and did some things that just really changed the whole entire look of Red Lobster and taste of Red Lobster. So they had filed for bankruptcy, so they used that as a reset point. So they scrapped all their promotions and they rebuilt the strategy from the ground up, beginning with the menu. They modernized the menu offerings and they started doing seafood boils. So they still offered the traditional menu. They added some new things as well, but that seafood boil, it really brought out the people because people, they're going to eat. They were spending their money somewhere. So they had to give the people something to enjoy. So that seafood boil made a difference. They focused on the profitable items. So the endless shrimp. People love shrimp and lobster, so they focused on that. They refine the guest experience. A lot of companies are failing because of poor customer service, but not Red Lobster. They said, listen, we're going to treat you like kings and queens when we come up in there. So that's exactly what they were doing. And tell me down below, have y'all been to Red Lobster lately? Tell me, how is the service? How is the food? Have you tried their seafood boil? The numbers are saying that what they did is working. They accepted that the brand had to evolve, but not to disappear. So they kept all the good things that were good about Red Lobster, but then they began to integrate some things that could make them better. I kudos to them. They made a great decision with their hiring of leadership, and we see that leadership is what makes the difference in business. So we have another leader who came in, and Cracker Barrel, they did a little different type of approach with their change. So they were experiencing some downfalls as well with their money, and they wanted to bring in somebody to shake things up. So Cracker Barrel brought in a lady named Julie Fells Messino. Now, Miss Messino had been a leader at Taco Bell, Fisher Price, and at Starbucks. And also, the one for Red Lobster, he had been a leader for P.F. Chang's. So they had good leadership skills. Unfortunately, the first thing she did was remove the little man off the Cracker Barrel signage. So she came in right away and changed the identity of Cracker Barrel. And people were not happy about that. And so immediately there was this conversation going on, and y'all know the jokes about crackers and all that kind of stuff. So it was ugly. So that was the first thing she did. She tried to change the identity of the restaurant. On the other hand, the Demola, he didn't change Red Lobster. He kept it the same. He kept the food the same. He kept the identity the same. So people were very angry about that. She also changed how the restaurant looked. People didn't like that as well. So she was having some issues because people were not liking the changes that, were happening. Now, why were they losing business to begin with? Well, they said that they were the rising food costs, declining in foot traffic, and the younger diners were not eating the traditional food. So they were just trying to change the lookup. But they alienated the people that had made Cracker Barrel who it was and who would spend their money there. People like to go and shop and all that busyness in Cracker Barrel. That's what made it what it was. So you had two iconic restaurants. They used two different approaches, and we see who's doing better. Red Lobster. Red Lobster, because of the changes that they did, their bottom line began to rise. Whereas Cracker Barrel is still struggling because they alienated so many of their original customers. So they trying to get the people back. They're saying, hey, listen, we're sorry. We love you guys. We're going to keep it the same way, the same old meatloaf, the same old green beans, the same old carrots. We're going to keep the same old good biscuits and fried chicken. So this is what Cracker Barrel is saying. What say you? Are you a seafood person? Are you a traditional food person? Are you going back into Cracker Barrel? Because they need you to go back in. Oh, by the way, they changed their logo back to the original one. So they didn't fire Miss Messino, but her decisions really hurt the company that was already hurting. Whereas Demola came in and he changed the whole trajectory of Red Lobster. So I want to thank you for joining me for another great episode of Royal Black and Elite. As you know, my lessons are always for education and entertainment purposes only, and the Fair Act use is in effect. Now, if you want to continue to learn, of course, click down below, but I want to hear from you. Tell me, who do you like, Red Lobster? Do you like Cracker Barrel? And what do you think about this young man turning Red Lobster around? Kudos to him. Cracker Barrel, you might want to call Demola. Maybe he can help you too. So thank you all and have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me for another great episode of Royal Black and Elite.